I noticed you have this obsession on Instagram with lost gloves.
Well, it's lost objects, but it started with lost gloves.
You're saying there's a little bit of a hint of sadness to these. It's like it's telling you a tale, but you don't know what the tale is.
They're all bittersweet city adventures.
You don't want your DNA on those.
Well, you know, well, it could be a crime scene. Let's not give the cops a break.
I wish these were the worst days. It's only just begun.
Implanting a child in a woman and then taking it away from her.
People will be swearing to God that children and babies can consent.
I wonder where this will go.
Just wait for those days. You think these days are bad?
If these computers are doing anything like pattern recognition, it's gonna get real based real quick.
Big personalities that rail against age gaps and things like that, why don't you check their hard drives out and see what's on it? Check the age gap out on that.
Knife Song with 15, we defeated the wrong enemy. You ever go deep on the feds running X trafficking? That new thing with the Vegas judge getting S-sided? Shout out to Nick Bryant for exposing the Franklin scandal.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my head in the sand on that one. But I'll see you on Signal.
No, you don't think kids are not as an important conversation? What do you think the age of consent should be? If you want to be...
This is so much. How do I handle all this stuff, man? Let's try.
Just tell us what you think it should be.
I think it should be
2 years. Talking about the age of consent and all that stuff is a very female thing to do, honestly. The lawmakers or the big personalities that rail against age gaps and things like that, why don't you check their hard drives out and see what's on it? Check the age gap out on that. Don't ever let anybody, don't let people that belong in prison or such browbeat you into anything at all. You don't have to take it from slime. Hey, what about Aaliyah? Did anyone have a problem with R. Kelly when he married Aaliyah at 14 or 15? Anyone remember that? No one had a problem then. Now people have a problem with, 18 and 17, 19 and 20 and 18, 22 and 18. The people that literally belong in jail are the ones that browbeat you on age gaps. It's only just warfare against men.
Just like me.
Oh, what the men having babies? Yo.
Damn.
This is the Hypergenics. There's a guy named Sam Hyde who's a advisory board member of the Men Having Babies.
No way.
Oh, yo.
Men can have babies too.
This is messed up, man. Listen, the reason why Men Having Babies is a non-profit organization dedicated to educating and assisting gay men to create their own families. Uh-oh. I wonder where this will go.
100 other guys.
I bet that's not the first time he said that. Like, oh man, those guys are funny.
Yeah.
You see him kissing over there? That was hilarious.
They'll do anything for a good joke.
Those guys are the life of the party. They're so funny, always kissing and adopting kids, trying to adopt kids, having surrogate mothers, implanting a child in a woman and then taking it away from her as soon as it's born. That's so funny.
It's common sense. It's common sense that children are children. If people are looking for them to consent, then there should be some sort of reaction to that. So all of this is absolutely wasted because the fact that it's even a conversation at all is very dangerous and does not bode well at all. Because they tried it, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. They started talking about children and all this stuff. It's crazy. Adult men staying away from teen girls. In that men are less mature than women now. And the men are freaking annihilated and destroyed. So how can you expect normal behavior from anybody? Look at the state of men now. Look how annihilated and destroyed they are. Look at women. The sexual ailments that wreck society, they are planted. I'm saying everybody is a victim of abuse is what I'm saying. And that's not passing the buck or the blame. Just saying everyone's been in the MK Ultra machine. Not everyone knows what that means. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone knows what that means, but everyone's been in it.
If you're looking at porn, your brain is going to be the Vietnam War, the soldiers, they're walking around, they got blown up by landmines, they got flechette rounds, which is little pieces of metal that are designed to enter your body and do a ton of damage, but not kill you. If you're dead, you're just a casualty. But if you're severely, horribly injured, you are a problem that the rest of your fellow soldiers have to take care of. If you were walking around and you found a beautiful woman, you want beautiful woman, you should talk to her. You will get family, good babies, make money, good life. cerebral cortex would tell you that you would be compelled, you would have to, you would be compelled. That would be totally dead and numb because your brain is brain damaged from watching porn. And you've not been looking at girls on Instagram and numbing yourself to what actual in real life beauty looks like.
That somebody can go through hormone therapy. Can they change their gender if they're a child?
Oh, now this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been waiting for right here.
I think that's totally fine as long as
So good.
everyone is consenting.
Have you ever had a child that could consent? Now we're talking about the age of consent here, right? The real age of consent that everyone should be worried about is not the regular things that people have been talking about for years. It's a child's consent or a baby's consent. They've been working on this stuff for years to make it plausible that children or babies can consent. It's a very, very dark thing. And there's only so far you can go with it. I almost puked. Damn, he drew him out. Did he intentionally do that? Is that this laugh and the look? Does that mean it was like a hit job to sort of trick him into talking about that? Even though in a couple years or a year, people will be swearing to God that children and babies can consent. Just wait for those days. You think these days are bad? I swear to God, I wish these were the worst days. It's only just begun.
Sam, big fan. I'm a 25-year-old female, and I started catfishing on Kik using my own photos to pose as a child. I'm grossly good at it. These guys eat out of my hand. What would the Candyman do? I need guidance.
You should do a video series, but you should first make sure you're legally protected.
That's insane.
Yeah, your first stop's going to be talking to a lawyer. Just make sure that the people you bust are too broke to defend themselves legally. That's actually what you should. You just get the poor ones.
Just run a credit check on them.
Yeah, run a credit check before you bust anybody.
Did y'all see the AI Seinfeld show getting canceled on Twitch for saying something based? Keep it tight, TND squad.
Yeah, listen, all this AI stuff, it's got to be tightly controlled. Otherwise, it's going to get real based real quick. If these computers are doing anything like pattern recognition, it's going to get real based real quick, which is why you need a literal army of lesbians to keep it in check. That's the thing about this AI stuff. You think it's cutting down manpower. It's just shuffling the manpower around so that you have an army of lesbians making sure that things stay not based, which is funny. At least back in the day, you got Terminator 2. Now you got My Buttinator 2 with the underage cuties Netflix My Buttinator show. That's what you get now. But now it's like, well, we are thinking about doing a project about lesbians and race in small town Georgia. And it's going to be an illuminating and shocking piece that really opens some eyes. Jonathan Glazer. I know what I'll do. I'll show a German family. It says right here, in London. It's these filmmakers that are from London. I know what I'll do. I'll make this German family look weird. That way you'll think that a family of white children with blonde hair is weird.
There should have been, you know what? The second people started talking about mixing consent with children, there should have been something that happened, okay? So all of this is a very, very rough timeline. You understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't even have been tolerated years ago when the freaks were making videos on how babies and children can consent to things. There should have been people in the streets, mobs in the streets, but there weren't.
Jacob Strahan with the 20 euros. Sam, how do I avoid the black pill?
Don't get black pilled. You're probably overexposing yourself to media and also thinking that you have the ability to change these psyops. It's in the name, psyop. It's called a psyop for a reason, because it's a psyop. Stop responding to it. Just take care of the people around you and try to be normal and don't fuck up. You'll be fine. This country's gonna have a nice slide into Brazil-style stratification, class stratification, and favelas and private security and chaos and tax dodging schemes, things like that. I don't think it's not gonna be good. But don't worry, because you have Minecraft to play. You have this stream right here to watch.
Consent should be an accepted number, meaning 18 years of age should be the age of consent, because when you're 18 years old and you're going to college, you can drive, you're doing very adult things, versus
You can't drink though, can you? I think age of consent should be 21.
under that age, you're still a kid.
Oh wait, who wrote those rules? Lawmakers? Oh. Who defines what's right? the government, that's great. That's cool. It's illegitimate. Again, I'll say it. Lawmakers make your laws. Do you respect lawmakers? Are they legitimate? 21 is about right for a man. Biologically, that puts many women at a big disadvantage. Age of consent law implies there's a horde of rapists waiting for permission. Maybe there is. Again, I'll say it again. I know not everyone wants to hear it. All this legalese is only a war on men. It's not to protect vulnerable women. It's not to protect anybody. It's only to war on men and give an in to send someone to jail for rape. At its foundation, that is its foundation. If it's moral or ethical, that's a different conversation. You could say 85 and a 5-year-old. You could say 25 and 16. You could say 15. That's the problem with this. You could keep going on and on forever and ever until men and women hate each other for life. That's the point. The point is to make men run scared, to always be afraid, to be guilty, that their sex is only violence. It's extreme feminism. And look, I'm not saying some of those things that you're saying aren't weird, but I'm not here to call things weird. I'm trying to get to the foundation of it so we can all process it properly without men and women hating each other more, is what I'm trying to say.
Stefan Molyneux, man, if you can find him these days, I guarantee you're in for a treat. I absolutely guarantee it. Shout out Stefan Molyneux. Classic guy. Is he back on Twitter yet, or is he still off? Stefan Molyneux is an ultra classic. I think he's back on Twitter and he's posting his manifesto.
Thank you for the 5. Sir.
Oh yeah, he's jumping into IQ tests right away. IQ test examples. Oh yeah.